Hey everybody, welcome to Storytime with Andy. I'm so glad you are joining us today for our reading. We are reading Ada Twist, Scientist, and this is little Ada right here. And I'll tell you, she is not the only scientist with the first name Ada. If you ask your mom and dad to Google the name Ada Lovelace, you'll learn about a really smart, cool lady from a long time ago. She was a mathematician, she was a writer, and she helped write some of the first computer programs, okay? So nowadays when you are playing Animal Crossing or anything like that, it's because of Ada Lovelace. So look her up and learn something new today. I bet you'll enjoy it. We are going to read about Ada here. She is super inquisitive, which means she has lots of questions to ask. She's very curious, and those are all great characteristics of a scientist, right? So we're gonna read the book and then we're going to draw. We're gonna draw little Miss Ada right here holding up her question mark to show that she is always looking to learn something, okay? All right, so today's special shout out goes to Maddie Ray and Jolie P. in Leland, North Carolina, two very smart little girls who I think, just like Ada, are gonna grow up to be really good thinkers, okay? All right, you guys ready to read? Let's do it. Ada Twist, Scientist by Andrea Beatty. Ada Marie, said not a word till the day she turned 3. She bounced in her crib and looked all around, observing the world, but not making a sound. She learned how to climb and made her big break with a trail of chaos left in her wake. She ran through the day, chasing each sound in sight, and didn't slow down till she conked out at night. Her parents were frazzled, but tried not to freak, as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak. Clearly, young Ada with lots in her head would have something to say when it ought to be said. And that's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree and climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" as all good parents would. Ada's chin quivered, but she did not cry. She took a deep breath and she simply asked, "Why? Why does it tick? And why does it tuck? Why don't we call it a granddaughter clock? Why are there pointy things stuck to a rose? Why are there hairs up inside your nose?" She started with why, and then what, how, and when. By bedtime, she came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of their curious child who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "You'll figure it out." Her parents kept up with their high-flying kid, whose questions and chaos both grew as she did. Even Miss Greer found her hands were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist. She had all the traits of a great scientist. Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that make mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stench whacked her right in the nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. "Zowie," said Ada, which got her to thinking, what is the source of that terrible stinking? How does a nose know there's something to smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin. She'd start at the start where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved best. Ada did research to learn all she could of smelling and smells, both the stinky and good. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. Then, zowie, the stink struck again, just like that. Hypothesis 2, it's caused by the cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, "Stop! Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now by the time we count 3. "Enough," said her mother. "That's it," said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. "Why?" Ada questioned. Her mother said, "No." "What?" Ada queried. Her father said, "Go. You've ruined our supper. You've made the cat stink. Enough with your questions. Now sit there and think." She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. She sat all alone by herself in the hall, and Ada, once more, could say nothing at all. And so Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat, and she thought about science and Stu and the cat and how her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of that terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question, and then she asked 2, and each of those led her to 3 questions more, and some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped on her chin. She started at why, and then what, how, and when. And at the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Her parents calmed down, and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had to gawk. No patch of bear paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair now was the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did. What would they do with this curious kid who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, "We'll figure it out." And that's what they did, because that's what you do when your kid has a passion and a heart that is true. They remade their world. Now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. She asks lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. And as for that smell, well, what can Ada Twist do but learn all she can with her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curls toes? Well, that is the question. And someday, who knows? The end. All right, Ada Twist Scientist, it is time for us to draw you. And if you have this book at home, you can flip it around to the back. And this is the picture of Ada that we are going to draw today. I just like how she looks in this one, and I like how she's holding up something to ask her parents another question. So we'll keep her over there, and we will get started. Circle, circle, circle for the head. The dress is kind of like a triangle, but squared off. Rectangles for legs. We can do this. All right, you guys ready? First, we're gonna draw the first circle of her hair, and I think her hair looks so cute. I have a little friend who wears her hair like this a lot. Okay, we're gonna do like one big puffy ball right there, okay? And then we're gonna draw her head. So just a circle, nothing to be afraid of, just a circle. All right. Then we're gonna draw this other puff back here, but we won't see all of it. So start it to the right of this one, make it a little bit smaller, just like that. And we're gonna draw these yellow little hair bow baubles. I don't know what they're called. All right, and then see her hair's just got her hairline right there. So you can draw that just to show the rest of her hair that's close to her forehead. All right, boom. So far, so good, huh? Let's work on these eyes. So she has one eyebrow going this way and one eyebrow going that way. And I love it because I think it makes it look like she's thinking. So now 2 circles for the eyes. 1, 2, okay. And then we do the dark part in here. That's the pupil. And then she has big eyelashes on the top and bottom. So draw a couple sticks up and down. Just like that. And she has a teeny, tiny little nose. And her smile kind of goes a straight line and then a curve. And then one more line like that to show her teeth, all right? So in this picture, she's pointing to her face. I'm just gonna have her arm down just to keep it simple, okay? So let's do her neck. Boom, boom, just like that. Now we're gonna draw a little line, and here we're gonna start the dress. So we're gonna come down, over and up, okay? Down, over, give it a little bit of a curve, and then right back up to the top. Now, like I said, I'm just gonna draw her arm down just like this. There we go, there's our arm. And now we can do her two legs. Again, they're just kind of long rectangles over here. 1, 2. 1, 2. And she has little black shoes on. And she has really tall knee-high socks, which I love. All right, now she has polka dots on her dress and polka dots on her socks. You can do whatever kind of design you want. I probably am not gonna do all the polka dots, but I'll get you started so you can do it on your own. How about that? So, polka dots, polka dots. I love polka dots. I like big ones, not little ones. I don't know why. So you can fill in as many polka dots as you want, but oh no, she needs another arm. What are we doing giving her polka dots when she only has one arm? All right, you ready to do this? Her arm's just gonna curve up just a little bit. And let's draw a thumb, okay? Bring it down just like that. And she's holding something. She's holding a piece of paper, which is basically a rectangle and a little crumpled. And you can make that paper say anything you want. I'm just gonna kind of draw a question mark to represent that she's always asking questions. Oh yeah, and her socks had dots, sorry, I forgot. But like I said, give them stripes, give them whatever you want. And an ear, oh my goodness, you guys, I'm always forgetting ears. I don't know why. Goodness me, now she can hear. All right, Ada Twist Scientist, done. That was a fast one, huh? But we need to draw the title, right? Let me flip it over so you can follow along with the letters. It's Ada Twist, comma, Scientist. A, D, A, T, W, I, S, T, comma. Oh boy, that's a long word coming. I don't know if I have room for it. I'll make my letter smaller. Ada Twist, SCIENTIST. Ada Twist Scientist. We'll draw a floor for her to stand on so she's just not floating out in space. There is our Ada Twist Scientist. Good job, everybody. All right, did you enjoy that book? I hope you did. I hope your drawing is really cool. I love that book. I love that Ada is so curious. I love that she cannot figure out that what she's smelling are her brother's stinky socks, right? But it's a great book, and I hope that all of you out there are curious and are always looking to learn something new, right? All right. So if you want a special shout out in the future, just take your picture that you drew today, ask your mom or dad to put it on our Facebook or Instagram page, and I would love to say a special hello to you next time, okay? All right, everybody, as always, stay well and keep reading.